Hello everyone, finally back with the how-to video on using the Traxxas Hoss light kit on the Sledge. It's been a long time since I've been able to get to this. Apologize for that, but I just want to start off by saying I can show you guys how I do this, but I can't do it for you. I have another video on the Bronco that I put a Traxxas light in the front bumper. You have to do a little bit of Dremel on the front bumper. Several guys commented. Uh, they did it, worked out great. They love it. Had a guy comment, "Oh, this ruined my bumper." So, I mean, you have to know your own skill set, and if you think you can, follow along with what I'm showing here. This is what works for me, and I just try to show you how I did what I did in my videos. First of all, like I said, you'll need a Traxxas Hoss light kit, and then your front bumper. You'll have to remove it from your Traxxas Sledge. The Traxxas Hoss front bumper light kit, it comes like this. First thing you want to do is take the LED light out, take your cover out for the LED light so you don't mess up the light or any wiring when you have to Dremel this bumper. And basically, the part you're going to Dremel will be this. You want this bottom piece that attaches to your Traxxas Hoss. You need to take that off. I've already Dremeled it, and I'll just show you basically what you're going to end up with once you run your Dremel across there and you take that apart. This will be the piece that you have. I basically just follow the contour of the piece that you're cutting off. It'll have a contour there. Just follow that contour, clean this up with your Dremel tool, and you're left with this piece. Next, what you want to do, this was the piece that holds in the LED light bar and the wiring. Go ahead and put that back in, just without the light. You just want this back cover in there. And what you're going to do is drill through these two holes, one there and one there. And what you're trying to do is put a hole through this bumper so that you will be able to attach this bumper to your Sledge bumper. So when you're done, you'll see you have a hole there and you have a hole there. And what that will allow you to do is, when we go to mount this, this is the Sledge front bumper, if you want to call it a bumper, but it's the piece they have on the front of the Sledge. You want to overlay this, being very careful to line it up to where you see those two holes. Those are the factory holes in the Sledge bumper. And you want to line those up to where you can see them through this opening. You want to line it up here where you can see that these two holes through that opening on the Hoss bumper. Just like that. And now what you want to do is center it up. Get everything centered to where it's going to, look like it should. And then you'll take a drill through the hole that you already made earlier, there and there, just enough to make a mark on this bumper. So now I need to drill out this mark and this mark. So hang with me just a second. I'll drill that out right now. Okay, I've drilled the two holes. I'm back. This is what I have now. This is where the two marks were. I drilled those out. Now we should be able to mate the the Hoss bumper up with the Sledge bumper. What you want to do at this point is go ahead and put your LED light back in and make sure this is installed the correct way. You'll see this little piece here. It has a little groove right there. That's for the wiring to come out without pinching it. So this went in that way. The wiring is over here. And this will go in like that. And you only want to replace this top screw. And originally there was 3. These 2 you took out and drilled through them. And this one is the only one you want to use. And the reason why is the screws that will go through the 2 holes we just drilled are going to end up going through there. That's what's going to hold this whole thing together. There it is, all tightened down. The wire's not pinched, it's in the little notch. And that's what it looks like, completed. Let me grab the bumper for the Sledge. Now, you want to make sure this wire, again, doesn't get pinched. You'll lay this in here like this. Run your screws through the front and the holes that we drilled. There's the screws going through, and it went through the 2 outer holes on the light. And now we'll line these holes that we drilled up with the screws and mount everything. I believe these were 2.5 mil screws. I used, I believe, an 1/8 inch bit. Now that I got the screws tight, wire's not pinched, you see the screws sticking through the 2 holes that we drilled. And I got a little 2.5 nylon lock nut I will put on each one of those. Okay. You can see here, I got the nylon lock nuts on there. And again, like I say, make sure everything worked out to where the 2 factory holes in the Sledge bumper you can access, because what's going to happen is when you go to put that on your Sledge, the Sledge factory screws have to go through there, so you will need access to get the screw and your screwdriver in that slot. Basically, other than that, the rest of this is installing the rear light and just following the wiring diagram in the instruction kit for the Hoss light kit. A quick overview of that. I've got my Sledge right here. There's basically what we just did in the working configuration. I'll unplug it so you can see it. put the body on real quick so you can see what that looks like. I know a lot of you guys probably have questions about the durability of this, but believe me, I've jumped this, nose dived it into asphalt so hard to where asphalt was sticking in the bumper, and it's still there. Let me refocus this. There's the front of the vehicle. Once it's installed, you don't have to. I did. This original bumper comes down. The light still shows, and you can see it without cutting anything. I just wanted to open this up myself to see the whole thing. You know, like again, you don't have to. But this front lip actually would block some of the light output. It still shines very bright, but I didn't like the back of my body being lit up, so I ended up cutting that out. And basically, there's what you end up with. Doesn't stand out. It's not very noticeable until you turn it on. That's that. Let me plug this in real quick. Show you the rear. It's a very simple install. Again, this is super bright. There's that. And for the rear, you just take the Haas rear tail light bumper, and you can see right here. This is how I did it. It's how I found out. I had something else on here. It worked, but I didn't like it, so I went with aluminum rivets, black aluminum rivets. Went right through the spoiler on the Sledge, and the rear bumper from the Haas is like a U shape, so the back of it is open. So basically I just took the bumper, laid it up flat against the underside of the Sledge spoiler, locked it in place, and then drilled 3/8" holes for these rivets, and then put the rivets through, and basically this is what you have. It's not going anywhere. Just make sure when you position this, it's basically where I'm showing you to do it. If you move it too far back, you're going to end up, if you do wheelies, it'll end up dragging the pavement. You can see here mine is in far enough that I don't have any marks on this bottom edge, because basically this is what will happen if you go too far. If you're doing wheelies and the spoiler is dragging, if this is too far out, you're going to drag your brake light bumper instead of the spoiler. Again, I unplugged it so you could see what it looks like. You just take the bumper, clamp it up here temporarily until you get your rivets drilled, and then once the back side of this is open, once you rivet that on, it's not going anywhere. I'll plug it in real quick again just to show you. There's what it looks like. Very bright. It's actually pretty trick looking when you have the body on and you're using it wherever you bash at. The last thing I'll show you, just because it's all part of this, inside the Haas light kit, you'll get a tap, battery tap. I just went ahead and slid mine up on one of these, preferably the red and the black one. because it'll be color coded. You want to match the same thing. It slides up in to your factory plug, and then it gives you this little lead that goes over to your power supply box. I just ran mine along the center beam, hooked up the front light, hooked up the rear light, and my power supply box is right there. You can really put it anywhere you want. You don't really have to get to it. There's no on and off switch. It's just when you plug this in, they're coming on, you turn it off, you unplug it, it's going to turn off. Basically, again, that's it. Apologize this took so long. A lot of things going on. I'm working on a couple different projects. But again, here's what you end up with. Front bumper of the Sledge, front bumper of the Haas light kit. This is dremeled off. Put the two together. Run the factory bumper screws through those two holes, and this thing will be as solid as you can get it. Believe me, it's not going anywhere. So anyway, for those of you who want to tackle this, hope this helps out, and good luck. Thank you.